Kent, one of the big problems I've seen with e-bikes and e-scooters is the risk of people um, getting the bike or the scooter and not realising that there's rules about using them and then charging them safely. And there's a real concern that you could cause a house fire with not charging an e-bike or an e-scooter. They're quite complicated pieces of machinery. And any time that you're using or dealing with electricity, you've got to be really, really careful. The most important thing for consumers is do your research initially, make sure you know what you're buying, buy it from a reputable source, make sure that you know exactly, make sure all the instructions are in English. If not, let trading standards know immediately. Once you've got it, make sure you follow the instructions about charging it. Wherever possible, don't charge it inside your house. Try and charge it externally. Make sure it's not blocking any fire exits or hallways. And if you're offered a bargain e-bike or e-scooter, think again. It's the last thing that we want MD to do is to suffer any injuries from a cheaply imported one. If someone offers you a bargain, and again, this is always an appealing time for people, especially with the cost of living, they want to buy an e-bike and e-scooter and get what they consider a bargain. Well, don't be dazzled with the price. Look into the safety aspect of it. Make sure that you've got enough information to be confident that you've got a reputable product. Moving to then having the e-bike or e-scooter, there is laws regarding the use. Obviously, e-scooters, using them on the public highway is not permitted. They have got to make sure that they get permission of a private landowner to use it. Going back to buying it from a reputable source, you'll get an approved charger that's been tested and is safe to use. But you've got to think about the temperature rising with that charge unit. So you don't want to put it beside any heat sources for a start. Ideally, if you could actually put it outside your house when you're charging it, if you've got a garage, but not blocking hallways and exits. And another thing is monitoring it. Don't just put it on charge and leave it. Make sure that you're able to monitor it. But the temperatures will rise, and if there is a incorrect charger, if your original charger is damaged, don't just go online and buy the first charger that you think will work for your e-bike or e-scooter. Make sure you go back to the manufacturer and get an approved charger, because that way you're not putting yourself or others at risk. But yeah, some of the fires have been ferocious, leading to loss of life. So that's how serious this is. Another thing is you might get offered a second-hand e-bike or e-scooter. Well, again, you would want to make sure that that is checked over before you use it, especially if you're giving it to a younger person. And again, I think the advice for anybody that's using an e-bike or an e-scooter is, yeah, get a helmet on, be fluorescent. Please check with the manufacturer or a reputable seller. As I say, don't take the advice of somebody online. Don't, as I say, feel as if you don't have to ask MD for advice. Oh, it's just plugging it in. No, these are really serious pieces of equipment that need to be maintained and monitored. When people want to dispose of their e-bike or e-scooter, we want them to certainly go to an approved recycling centre. It's not something, especially because it's a lithium-ion battery, as I say, we want to make sure that that is controlled disposal. So in Kent, we're very fortunate. We've got a number of recycling sites. It's quite easy to find out where you can dispose of the batteries, but certainly don't just put it out with the rubbish.
We can't take action without your reports. We need everyone who comes across fake, illegal, or unsafe goods to speak up and report them. Your reporting can help us target our resources to warn and protect others. Report to the charity Crimestoppers on 0800 555 111. You'll stay 100% anonymous, always. To get advice, call the Citizens Advice Consumer Helpline on 0808 223 1133.